Plants vs. Zombies title might not seem like the ideal franchise to show off your next generation hardware, but the reality is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare isn't your typical Plants vs. Zombies game. Borrowing heavily from another EA franchise, namely the Battlefield series, both gameplay style and graphical engine, Garden Warfare brings a family-friendly twist with co-op and competitive gameplay to the Xbox One and Xbox 360. It should be noted that Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, it's entirely multiplayer. There's no single-player gameplay going on here. There's no campaign or story or anything like that. Instead, what you have is two modes of gameplay. You have a co-op aspect called Garden Warfare, and then you have a competitive mode of gameplay as well. The competitive mode is 12 vs. 12 multiplayer, split between a objective-based mode called Gardens and Graveyards. It's very similar to Battlefield's Conquest mode. Players play as either plants or the zombies, and they have to capture points along a map to gain points and win the match overall. There's 4 classes, and those 4 classes are split on both sides of the line there. So you have an assault class, a medic, kind of a tank or a damage dealer, more of a balanced class on both the plants and the zombies. You also have a team deathmatch mode that's pretty decent as well, but the meat of the game for us obviously is the Garden Warfare co-op mode, and this is a 4-player co-op mode across about 5 maps of gameplay. And again, you have those same 4 classes, except you're only playing as the plants. And what you've got is a pea shooter, a chomper, which is like a Venus flytrap kind of a thing, a cactus, and a sunflower. Your pea shooter is kind of your damage dealer. You can shoot peas and kind of snipe out enemies. He can plant in the ground as like a turret. He can jump. He's a little more mobile. The chomper, he can deal some pretty heavy damage. He can actually eat some of the lesser zombies in one chomp. He can burrow underground and then kind of surprise enemies. The cactus, he's more mobile and agile. He actually has a pretty cool ability that allows him to launch a drone in the air and take out some enemies. He also has the ability to put down potato mines, which is good for defending your garden. And then you have the sunflower, which is your healer. And of course, the healer is very important to co-op gameplay. And so, basically your goal is to defend a garden. The maps start out with you picking a spot for that garden to be planted in. There's usually like 3 or 4 spots in each of the maps. The maps vary in theme and style. You've got like a suburban town. You've got a pirate-themed beachfront. A cityscape that has kind of like a mall and a warehouse district and some stuff. So there's good variety, and the graphical style of it is fun, it's unique, it's very colorful. It's definitely visually appealing, but it's also a little busy, and you'll find that as you go through the game's 10 waves on each map, that as it gets more and more chaotic, it becomes pretty difficult to pick out what's going on at times. And if you're not communicating with your team, it can become incredibly difficult to survive. So each of the 10 waves gets a little bit harder and harder, and you find the zombies kind of armoring up with, they'll have shields, they'll have football player pads on, there'll be zombies with rocket launchers, there'll be big boss waves as well. Every 5 waves there's going to be a boss wave coming on, and you might fight some disco zombies, or there's this giant zombie that uses a electric pole that shoots electric at people, and it's, like I said, it gets pretty chaotic, but it's fun, and it definitely requires teamwork to survive the waves. The whole point of both modes of play is you'll earn these silver coins to unlock cards, and you'll purchase packs of cards. Basically, there's a bunch of levels. You got your basic pack, which might just be 1,000 points, all the way up to like the super unique pack. You'll get ultra rare cards, and that might be 20,000 coins. Of course, you're thinking, oh great, so this game's got packs in it, that means there's going to be microtransactions, but actually there's not. And in a $39.99 title, that's pretty surprising. So that's good to see EA kind of not go that route for Plants vs. Zombie titles. Those cards, what they do is there's a few things. In the co-op mode, the cards will actually let you buy plants that you can plant in pots that offer defensive bonuses and strategy to the maps themselves. There's also cards that will unlock customizations for your characters, so you can put little hats and crazy arms, like pickle arms on your pea shooter and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff to unlock, and there's actually a pretty deep stat system embedded in it that'll show you everything that you got to collect yet from those packs that you unlock. Some of the downsides of the game, like I've said, it's a bit chaotic. It's tough to see in some of the things, especially since everyone tends to crowd around the garden that you're defending. Xbox One is the only platform that has split screen play, but even on there, the second player isn't going to earn any experience for their characters, and they're not going to be able to unlock any silver coins to unlock cards, so it's kind of pointless for that. I think there's a lot going for Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Like I said, it's a great looking game. It's very colorful. Graphically, it surprisingly looks good for a next generation title. The $40 price point's a really good thing as well. You're not going to be spending a ton for it. It is multiplayer only, which is both good and bad. In the age of Call of Duties and Battlefields, will it stand up against it? I think being family friendly, that helps it quite a bit. There should be a steady stream of content coming for Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, and I think the sticker mechanic will keep you coming back for more. Overall, it's a solid title, above average, but not a system seller by any means.